the 50th anniversary of when a group of recent Syracuse University graduates and other people in Syracuse came up the Thruway to make WOUR a 24-hour album rock station. Most of that early crew in the 70s came from the Syracuse University radio station WAER, and one of the people, John Bunkfeld, was the engineer. And he was aware of the station in Utica, New York, and persuaded his parents to buy it. His dad was an engineer at Borden, was one of the people apparently who invented Ovaltine. And then he asked me if I could put together a crew of people to run it. And that's what got me to Utica, and quite a few of the other folks who were trained at Syracuse University at WAER. WOUR was very much a stepping stone for people who learned radio in Syracuse at WAER, and not just there, but college stations everywhere. We had an assortment of folks on the air who, regardless of what their educational level was or what their college major was, they really majored in rock and roll.
It wouldn't have happened without these guys getting on the Thruway, driving down to Utica and talking Rudy Bunkfeld into giving them a chance to make the station profitable. And that seed getting planted on that day led to the development not only of the format, but it kind of introduced us into a realm of much bigger market radio stations that had been around for a little while. But we were real small fish in that pond, and nonetheless earned the respect of listeners and managers and artists and concert promoters to the point that we really could have a big impact on Utica.
In the early 70s, rock music was the soundtrack to people's lives. It was what brought people together, people in their late teens, 20s, 30s. It really united everyone. In 1973, there was only one FM rock station on the air, and that was WOUR. And that was true in both Utica and Syracuse, and points in between. So our job as that one station was to entertain people, whether their preference was country rock, southern rock, rock and roll, maybe heavy metal. All of those genres lived side by side. And the people that we had on WOUR were talented in that they were able to present all of these styles of music together in a way that people wanted to hear.
Linda Ronstadt, the Byrds, rock and roll star, ZZ Top, and Pink Floyd all together at WOUR 9 after 8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Tom Starr. The first WOUR night of the 1980s happens tomorrow night at Down the Road and Turn. Music with Out of the Blue.
Well, we used to say often imitated but never duplicated, because you can't really make the kind of radio we made without being really close to your fellow workers and close to your audience. And I think that relationship made it kind of bulletproof for us.
The idea was for there to be a radio station that you could listen to for hours, hear a great variety of music, hear your favorite things, things that you had never heard before, and ideally you would love it all. We supplemented that with some of the concert acts that we were able to bring to the Utica Aud, the Stanley Theater, so many clubs throughout the region. The lawn of Hanna Park. Charlie Daniels came in and did a free concert for everyone. It was music, it was fun.
They talked me into coming back from the West Coast, and my very first show was so bad, I waited for Jeff to come in and tell him I just lost it. I didn't have it anymore. He said, well, you're going to keep doing it until you get it back. And I owe to him a debt of gratitude for giving me a multi-decade career and a job I look forward to every day of the year, and a real adventure every day of the year. And it was a real special place with real special people. A lot of people still to this day come up and say, God, you were so different. What made you think you could get away with what you were doing? The rest of the market had pretty much said, these guys are out of their minds. They're going to be out of business in another 2 weeks. And then eventually we just began a surge of listenership, and every listener, I think, knew that we weren't just there playing a playlist. We were actually making it up as we went along, taking calls, taking requests, all that kind of stuff that made it special, different than what anybody else anywhere on the dial was doing.